Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Tandimo, for introducing us. Thank you to the organizers of the Fertility Show for inviting us. I'm Karabo Zwane, and this is Pastor Jerry Zwane.
We are the Zwanes. We'll be talking about dealing with pregnancy loss. How does pregnancy loss actually feel like? We want to give ourselves permission to feel and go through the emotions that come with pregnancy loss. First and foremost, there is grief. There is a deep sense of loss. Secondly, there is shock. Your body doesn't have to always give you warning signs, it just happens. So if you feel shocked through pregnancy loss, it's quite normal. Number 3, sense of failure and guilt. You ask yourself, what did I do to deserve such a painful experience? After all, I was responsible for the baby. The baby was in my care. Number 4, loss of control. But why? How can I be in charge in the future? How can I prevent it from ever happening again? Next is emptiness. We had a new identity as a couple, but now we've got no identity, no more called mom and dad. Fear is also another common feeling when you go through pregnancy loss. What if this happens again? You doubt yourself. Jealousy. If you look at other couples expecting their bouncing babies, raising their bouncing babies, you ask yourselves, why not us? What have we done to deserve this? I remember personally, I had feelings of annoyance when I looked at women that were pregnant in the local mall. Confusion. If the baby was unplanned, should you feel relieved that now you've lost one? Loneliness is also a common feeling. Nobody knows or nobody knew that you're expecting. So how do you tell them that you've now lost the baby? Mazwane?
Thank you, my love. Early pregnancy loss is loss. Recently, Naniki helped me find a term called disenfranchised grief. This is a term describing grief that is not acknowledged as legitimate by society. For example, a loss may be seen too small or the relationship too distant to justify grieving. In our journey, we experience a number of recurring early pregnancy losses. That was something that we had to go through, and it was very difficult for us to go through the grieving process. Unvalidated grief does not heal, but it remains hidden. This is something that most people that go through early pregnancy loss go through. In my case, I remember one time I had a pregnancy loss at about 3 weeks, and on Monday I just went back to work. This was very difficult because in as much as I was there physically, I was in a lot of pain. Last year, during the first Fertility Show Africa, we had just recently lost a pregnancy. This was a moment for us that was very difficult. By the time the fertility show started, I was losing myself. I was not myself at all. When the lockdown started, end of March, I felt rescued because for the first time, I could focus on going through the emotions of grief without having to deal with the outside world, what everybody expected from us. This helped us a lot because we could manage the grief when we spent time together. Talking about it made us go through it much better because there was a time when we had friends and family members that will always advise us, you will fall pregnant again.
Male-specific challenges. It's a myth that pregnancy loss or miscarriage, it's only a woman's issue. Men also go through grief. They may hide themselves behind a lot of work, a lot of projects. They may hide themselves too much drinking. The typical male macho response is to say, my grief can wait. Let me, for the time being, support my partner. There is also societal pressures where we say men don't cry or tigers don't cry. There may be also fear to say, if I share my feelings openly with my partner, of my grief as well, it might just come the wrong way. And lastly, there is a shortage of male-orientated networks where men can openly talk and share their grief in the case of a pregnancy loss. What are some of the coping strategies?
It is okay not to be okay. You need to give yourself permission to grieve. Speak to somebody or a professional. Never be afraid to commemorate the loss. Your loss is valid, remember that. One thing that we failed to do was to name our children, because again, this was grief that we didn't see valid. Avoid numbing the pain using alcohol and other substances. Express yourself. Journal your feelings on a daily basis if you are feeling overwhelmed. Prayer and meditation often also helps a lot. And the last one, exercise.
Yeah. In conclusion, grieving is a process. There is 5 stages of grieving. Take your time, go through them. Don't rush, don't skip. There will be denial, there will be anger, that's quite common. There will be bargaining, there will be depression. But finally, when we accept, it's a beginning of our recovery. As Hannah, you're not alone. We are just reminding you again, you are not alone. Thank you.
Thank you to the Zwanes for a beautiful presentation, authentic, that your loss is validated, your grief is validated for men and women. Now we're going to be joined by Michelle Groenewald with a of Empty Wounds to continue with the conversation. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Tandimo. As men out there, it's perfectly normal to grieve as well. Find support, speak to a friend, speak to a colleague, speak to a professional, and you can find organizations where we can support you. Thanks.
Right. Thank you so much, Jerry. I think one of the most important things when we go through pregnancy or child loss is, as I've said in the presentation, is really validating the loss. And I'd like to bring you in, Michelle, because your organization is one of the organizations that help women deal with the trauma of losing a pregnancy. Tell us more about Empty Wombs.
So Empty Wombs is a support group of House of Fertility. And what we do is we get together once a month. It's a group of women who have all lost their babies at various stages of either the pregnancy, just before birth or just after birth, whether it be a NICU, stillbirth, whatever it may be. We validate and we acknowledge the baby that you have lost. How we achieve this is we believe in grieving through creativity. And as a result, we have the Hope Box Initiative, which has been founded by Nanki Robertson. She had a stillbirth at 39 weeks to her beloved little Caleb. And this little box is almost how would you say it, a tribute to all the babies who have gone too soon. And when I say babies, I'm talking any stage of gestation. So what this box serves to do is, it actually is just a box full of hope. It's full of little pampering gifts, but what it is actually delivering hope to the next mom who will have a stillbirth. So we get together once a month. You can talk if you want, you don't have to talk if you don't want. It's very casual, it's very conversational. And what the moms do is they take a box and they make a box which they then dedicate to their baby. They can either put the baby's name on the lid of the box, or it usually is in the box itself. If I may quickly go through what are the contents of the box. So as I said, the mom actually makes the box. A lot of the moms come in and they feel that they're not creative, they don't want to do it. What they don't understand is that by doing this, they are healing. It doesn't matter whether you're creative, it doesn't matter anything through creativity, whether you're writing in your journal or painting, you are in the process of healing. So in this box, what we do is we fill it with little gifts like a candle. The candle is to be lit on the 15th of October, which is International Pregnancy Loss Awareness Day. We light the candle at 7 o'clock at night. Wherever you are in the world, we post those photographs onto social media, and in turn, we are creating basically an ongoing wave of light in remembrance of the babies that have gone too soon. We also put little bath salts, tea, a mug. What we are trying to achieve as well is through the different cultures. We want to find out if you are Jewish, if you're Muslim, if you're Christian, and we try and tailor-make the box to your religious belief.
Right.
This is a very big one. We do a book on pregnancy loss for you to read when you are ready. There's coffee, tissues, little scripture cards. This box is actually being couriered out on Monday. So this box has already been allocated to a mom who lost her baby a month ago. Hand cream, little sweet stuff, and that's just basically just to pamper the mom a little bit, but really it is delivering hope to a mom that there's an entire hope community. I think the most important thing in this entire box is this letter. This letter is handwritten by Nanki herself to the mom, just to say that there is support, there is a whole community out there. What we find is, would you have ever thought about a lost community if you hadn't lost a baby? And you don't realize that 1 in 4 women are going to lose their baby, and you need to know that there is the support out there for you. We also have the Angel Gown Initiative. The Angel Gown Initiative is basically donated wedding gowns, which are then repurposed into little burial gowns. So you know that you will be burying your baby with love, dignity, and respect. And again, it's another way of validating that little life, which will have the hugest impact on your life. And that basically really is what Empty Wombs is all about. I could talk for hours and hours and hours about this subject. It really is, it is my passion. It's what I live for. Like I said to my one lost parents, it's not actually about the two of you. Mm-hmm. It's actually about that little person who has gone. Mm-hmm. And it's about remembering them, loving them, respecting them, and just, recognizing them for the little life that they were. Mm. So that's basically Empty Wombs, Hope Box Initiative, and the Angel Gown Initiative. Thank you.
Thank you so much.